Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattle Tales from the Vector. This is a general or collective reading, so just be aware parts may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and leave the rest. Also, this is a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. And if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that could give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, so we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is representing the energy for the underlying energy for the reading. The Hierophant is responsible for bringing justice in. He has his right hand in the form of the blessing, because it's always a blessing when the truth comes out. The truth will set you free. The Hierophant is the information comes in, the justice comes in from the spiritual realm, and then it comes down to the physical in the courts and law systems. So this is representing, if you're a religious figure, this would be someone who would be at the top of your church, like popes, cardinals, bishops, gurus, whatever religion you're from, the religious figures that are at the top. And then if you're more on the spiritual side, this would represent God himself with no intermediary, and reaching that connection through the higher self network via using prayer and meditation. And then that energy comes down into the physical, into like the court systems around the laws of the land, basically, and the court systems that rule over that. So we do have victory here. The Six of Wands represents victory. This is the element of fire. The wands are made of fire because the wands are made of wood because wood fuels fire. And this is talking about, this card is a card about taking action with passion, and that it has brought you victory. And you notice these people in the background, those, they could be people that have been in competition for whatever this is that you won. They could be disgruntled, but they're still cheering you on in a way because they realize that you came out as the leader. And you did that because you reined in your emotions and disciplined your mind so that you're, in a really strong position, and your leadership qualities came out. This could be like, it could have been like a sporting event or something like that, or it could be a position at work, maybe a promotion, and a lot of people applied for it and you were the one that won the position. It could be many things, but that's like, it's that type of energy. And then we have the Moon card coming up. And in this reading right now, the full moon is tonight in Scorpio. It's a little bit of an intense full moon. So just be prepared. When the full moon comes out, quite often, if you've ever worked in the hospitality industry, in the bars, etc., or EMS or the firefighters, police, etc., it can be pretty volatile. The emotional, the full moon energy, and in Scorpio, it's really deep and it can be really. Scorpio energy is about transition. And so a lot of people are feeling kind of that feeling of things like kind of falling apart or wanting them to, and come, just like a lot of change happening, and deep change, like in people's psyche and that. So sometimes emotional Scorpio full moons can be even more emotional than a lot of others. And so just be aware of that. It's Scorpio wants to blow things up and put them back together in a better way. And, people have a tendency to resist change. So, they're like, leave my, Taurus is actually opposing that energy. It's the opposite sign from Scorpio in the horoscope. The sun is in Taurus, and Taurus is saying, stay away from my shift. I like my possessions. I don't want you changing anything. And so this is talking about this lobster has to stay on his path. He has to somehow get past this dog and this wolf that are howling at the moon, and stay in between these two pillars and not be too distracted. There's the full moon, the new moon, and the sun. So it's representing also the eclipse season. We just had the eclipse season on February 17th and March 3rd. There was 2 eclipses. If you want to check that energy out, check it out on my full moon, new moon playlist on my channel, because I don't want to get too much into it. There's a lot of energy usually in these readings without getting too astrological. And I did a reading for each of the signs, so you could find really good information there. So this basically, though, you're way more intuitive at the full moon. Emotions can be running really high. A lot of hidden secrets, that type of energy can come out. So the dog is representing your domestic side. Perhaps you've been really domestic and you need to get out more. And the wolf is howling at the moon and this represents your wild side. Maybe you've been on the wild side lately and you need to come home once in a while. So if there's balance there, you're going to be better off. We have this energy here is talking about the 3 of Cups. Cups in tarot represent love, quite often romantic love, but it can be love of someone or something, as well as something you love to do or be. If you're not interested in the romantic love, quite often in romantic love, this a lot of readers read this as a celebration. I've always find that when this card comes up, it usually is like they're celebrating, but they're not looking at each other, and they're not celebrating each other. They're celebrating something that has happened. And it's an event that's happened or something that's happened. And if this is matters of love, I don't know why there's 3 cups here instead of 2. And also in many cultures, particularly in Europe, if you toast someone and you don't look them in the eye, they'll literally freak out on you. Look me in the eye. They have a suspicion over there that if you don't look people in the eye when you toast them, it causes them and you 7 years bad luck in your love life. And they're like, don't do that to me. So yeah, it's just like an energy. I usually find I like to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're celebrating good shift, and we'll give them that unless something else comes up to prove otherwise. We have the Page of Wands here. The Page of Wands is representing this energy of enthusiasm, youthfulness. This pages would work for the king and queen when they were very young. They would start at 7 to 14. You have to remember back in those days, the life expectancy was about half of what it is now. So they started work young as soon as they could. And it would be a real coup to be working for the king and queen. And quite often they would come from the families surrounding that were more educated in high society. And it would be like, they would be running tasks and running communication around the palace wall, through the palace walls. And when they grew up, if they were, accomplished at that and they were still there, they might be considered for knighthood as long as they could afford their own horse. Now, this energy here is talking about, the wands, again, the passion and that. And so the Page of Wands has a feather in his cap. He's dressed up. He's really, he's got a lot of enthusiasm, that youthful exuberance, someone under the age of 21, a masculine energy, really wanting to discover the world and get out there and gain knowledge and, make their mark in the world, basically. The thing you have to watch about the information when he comes through is that he really, really loves his wand. He's very focused on his wand. He looks up to it. It's very passionate about it. And so a lot of times he's thinking with his little head. So sometimes he gets information a little bit scrambled because he's not paying attention all the time on what he needs to be. And then we have, so the information, of course, in the old days, this page energy would always be a male, but nowadays it could be a female in her masculine energy as well as a male. And this would represent, the communication back then. I mean, the only way they had was in person and, or notes, that kind of energy, but delivered in person. So this energy nowadays, like it could be, you don't have to be expecting someone to come knock on your door. I mean, that could happen, but it's way more likely that you get a phone call, a text message, maybe you get an email, possibly something in the mail, documents. It can be all, that type of, the paperwork. It could also have to do with an invitation, possibly. You could be on social media, get a message from someone on social media, maybe be invited to an event there, and you see one posted and you attend it, and the next thing you know, you bump into someone that's, you're passionate about, that type of energy. Also, this energy can also represent just getting information yourself, like, and a really good way to do that, I really recommend, is challenging as it can be, to look at the news for a few minutes a day, just so at least you find out what's happening at the top, what's happening with the leaders of the countries. Maybe you'll find out what the trends are. It can be really helpful for your business, or just understanding kind of what's going on in the world can sometimes empower you to make strong decisions regarding business, and also, just in your life in general. This energy here is the Six of Pentacles. Pentacles in tarot represent an energy of health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional plane. And this is talking six of Pentacles would be kind of like upper class, upper middle class kind of energy. This would be the Six of Pentacles represents it's time to sow seeds, and then those seeds, you get the harvest. And so now this person has a little bit of money left over, and they're willing to share it a bit with charity. Giving to this person because their discernment is saying this person will use it wisely and needs it to be able to move forward. And this person, he's got the scales of justice hanging above his head. And if you look closer, there's something in his pocket. So this is a grifter. This is someone that, hey, get your butt to work. I'm not giving you my money. But this is learning that discernment. How much are you going to invest in something? In who are you going to invest in? What are you going to invest in? What do you expect the return to be? And is it a fair exchange? That type of energy. Also, it's saying the best investment is in yourself. Sometimes this card can represent breadcrumbing, and this card following right after, definitely this could be an issue here. You're not getting paid enough for what you do. This is the Five of Pentacles. I mean, there's two people in here, and there's only 5 pentacles. So there's 10 pentacles available in the deck. So this is like they don't have enough to even, they're homeless looking. And this one's on crutches, and he actually has a bell around his neck. And this is a plague bell. In the old days, they didn't have apps to make people isolate from society. So instead, what they would do is hang a bell on their neck, and you could hear them coming when they came into town. And then you could run and go in the other direction. And of course, this would make it challenging to get groceries or get a job, talk to people, that kind of energy. This person's got barefoot in the snow. So this energy is very challenging. And the energy here, sometimes this can represent tactics, the snow coming down. Anyone can handle a flake or two, but when you have too many flakes and they gang up on you, then it can really cause problems for you. And it sometimes represents that tactics have been used to put you in this energy. Sometimes it's, maybe people you're working with or for breadcrumbing you, and you're not getting paid what you should for some reason. Or someone is, hi, little kitty. It's okay. Did you just wake up? You're a funny little girl. She found a box today. I had a delivery, and she's been in that box, man. She's been really liking that box, and she's only about 4 feet from here, but she's like, you started a reading without me? Did you just wake up and realize I was doing a reading? She likes to sit on my lap when we're doing readings. She's got happy feet now, and soon she'll start purring. These people could use the vibration of her purr. A cat's purr raises the vibration to a healing energy. It might even lower all our blood pressure. I do have my noise canceling mic on, so you might not be able to hear it, but she does have a pretty good motor running now. She's so funny. She takes her job very seriously. I can't believe you started a reading without me. Like, what the heck? Oh, Stella. So this energy is talking, no, no. Now you maybe, hey, come on, you have to be a good girl or else you can't sit on my lap. All right, so now we have the Four of Cups coming in. The Four of Cups is talking about disappointment in love. And again, we have this energy over here. So sitting on this, being left out in the cold and being breadcrumbed. And so this can represent romantic love, and it also can represent a love of something you love to do or be, or family or friends or whatever. Now, this energy here is okay. Let's take it. If it's love, there could be a third party involvement. There's 3 cups here instead of 2. Sometimes this involvement can be another gift, which is a baby. And this has been coming up in my readings, and it's not uncommon for people to get pregnant while they're having affairs, and it could be that type of energy. So if this is about romantic love, then this comes back to this energy of the 3 cups. Why are there 3 cups? One of these people could be the third party, and that could be what they're celebrating. Is that maybe your partner has left you out in the cold to be with them, or you've left them and you feel like you're out in the cold. It's that type of energy. And they're celebrating because that means that they won, that type of energy. Gossip, slander, etc. And when the full moon is out, be sure that these little witchy poos are going to be out there and, doing whatever, low-flying witches. Especially with this moon, because everybody's feeling really emotional. This also could represent 3 cups, representing maybe a project or something that you've been working on, or this could represent someone that you've given 3 chances to. So this is 3 strikes. And the universe is saying, give it one more go. And he's like, I can't. I don't want to do this project again. Every time I've tried to launch it, or maybe that was the problem, you tried to. Maybe you just have to launch it. But it didn't work out. And now I'm like, I just don't want to take the disappointment again. It's like really, it's bothersome. And I need to make some money. I don't want to waste my time again. And this is kind of this energy of tired of being tired. It could be also in romantic love, or just with family members or friends or whatever, that you've given them 3 chances and they keep failing you. And it's kind of like, no, 3 strikes, you're out. They're asking for a 4th chance and you're like, no, I'm not going to. So there's a lot of disappointment here. It's okay to sit and be disappointed for a while and pout, but it doesn't make sense to sit there all, like for too long, because then you're the one who's missing out on the love. And we do have 10 cups coming in here. So this is the ultimate amount of love that you can get in the tarot, 10 cups showing up. This is total fulfillment in a perfectly imperfect world. So it's saying that, when you come out of this disappointment, if you approach life with a good attitude and more in this inquisitive, okay, let's look at it more from an optimistic, enthusiastic viewpoint, then you could end up with this fulfillment in a perfectly imperfect world. Is it going to be absolutely perfect every second of every minute of a day? Doubtfully, because this is the real world. But talking about generally, you have basically a really, really good life. We have the 10 of Wands, and this card represents an energy that's, a plus and a minus kind of energy. It depends on how you look at this card. This person, and the wands here represent seeds that he's planted. And like there was 6 seeds planted here. So perhaps these 10 wands here, maybe 4 of them belong to other people, energy of other people. He's carrying a really heavy load here. So he's planted seeds, and so some of these are the fruit of his labor, and there could be a lot of harvest here. He's almost home, but he's so tired from the energy it's required that he's barely able to get home, and he's almost giving up. If you've ever heard the saying, can't see the forest due to the trees, it's when you get so wrapped up in the details that you can't see the big picture anymore. And he's almost home, so a lot of people quit just right around the time when they're about to become successful. So this is saying keep going, you're almost there. But stop for a minute, and if there's like 4 burdens, and I get there is 4 here, because we have 6 that you planted in this cycle, put down those 4 burdens that belong to other people. Those burdens don't belong to you. And if the Hierophant's coming through here, and there's going to be any, justice being served, the karma is going to hit you as well if you're still carrying their burdens. So, put them down and phone them up when you get home and say, I put your burdens down in the field, come and get them. And if they don't worry about it. They'll blow away or something. It's up to them to look after their own shift. And don't expect them to be all joyful. Oh, you quit carrying my burden for me. Oh, good. I was wondering when this was going to happen. That's, you might not hear back from them. Don't worry about it. Because if you want this energy to shift for you, you need to let go of burdens that no longer belong to you. It's exhausting you, and it's hard to get into this energy when you're in this energy. Sometimes this can also represent choices that you've made along the way. Perhaps you have purchased a home, maybe a house 5 years ago or something, and it was perfect and it was a good price. It's held its value and all that. So it was a good investment and all that, except that right now the market's soft, and you want to move. You want to move on. You want to do something different. And so this energy is talking about having an asset that has become burdensome to you. It doesn't mean that it wasn't a good idea back then or that it hasn't served you well. It's just that now you're probably going to have to do some work on the house and take that time to do it. And if you have people renting it now or something, then you have to get them out of there and then, paint. And it can be, to put a house up for sale is a lot of work. And so, and then to show it and make sure it's clean all the time, all that energy, it takes a lot of effort. So it could be energy like that where, oh, Stella, you're hurting me. Gee whiz, go sit in your box. She's in a mood. She was like, you know what? I'd rather go sit in a box anyway. She hasn't had a box for a while, so I don't know. She often wonders when I'm giving these readings and I say, think outside the box. She's like, I do my best thinking in the box. So anyway, we have this energy here, and it's talking, put those burdens down. Let your cat go in her box if you need to. Get on with your life. Be happy. There we go. So this is talking about the sun is shining in this reading. This is saying this is the happiest card in the deck. So this is talking about the sun shining on you. This is how you are meant to be in your destined path. Happy, not like this, all burdened down. There's no reins here. There's no saddle. There's no fear. Like, this child is just totally fearless. The sunflowers in the back are following the sun, so they're really happy. And the banner that this young child is carrying is heavy, but carrying it with ease, and this represents your destiny. So, you're meant to be happy, put the burdens down and move on. And then we have this energy here with the Queen of Pentacles. And so this could be saying that you've needed to be very resourceful, and that's a highly admired quality in the Queen of Pentacles. This is someone, though, that comes from the old money quite often. Someone who's not flashy with their money. She prefers quality over quantity. And really, she should be, if she has generational wealth, this breadcrumbing energy and feeling left out in the cold and not having enough money, why does she have to be resourceful if she's the Queen of Pentacles? And so there could be some energy coming in around that with the Hierophant, and that might be part of the energy. Maybe once you put these burdens down that don't belong to you, then you'll be able to, maybe these people that disappointed you are part of the reason why you're carrying all these burdens. And then we have a cup of love coming in. Yeah, so it is talking about having that cup of love coming in. and being able to be in that place. It's worth giving it another go. Love, I mean. Maybe not with the same person, but the King of Cups, this energy is talking about someone who is very emotionally available. Of all the kings, he's the most stable when it comes to love. He is out in the middle of rough water. Rough water in tarot represents a lot of emotion and sometimes volatile. And so he has his right foot forward. He's ready to move forward and offer this cup of love. Generally, when he offers a cup of love, it's a stable offer, and but he's waiting because maybe this is your energy, and you want to offer the Queen of Pentacles a cup of love, or maybe you're in this Queen of Pentacles energy and the King of Cup is coming from outside and wants to offer you a cup of love. Whichever way this is, this energy is talking about he's waiting until you're in this happy, back in your natural happiness, and moving forward in that, and would be willing to accept this cup of love. Yeah, and then look at this. There's like all these pentacles that come in. So this is lifestyle. Look at 10 cups of love and 10 pentacles. This is the most pentacles you can have. So this energy, 10 of pentacles is the most pentacles. So it's like a billionaire energy. So you have a billionaire looking over the situation and wanting to offer you a cup of love. That could bode well for you. So this energy is raining money. You have the lifestyle you want. You're living at the house you want to live in the neighborhood. You have the partner. You feel safe. You have the 2.5 children, the pets, and you even have time to stop and chat with the neighbors. And sometimes this card can represent a windfall coming unexpectedly into your life. Like it could be, winning the lottery kind of energy, or, it could be someone who put you in their will, like a great aunt or uncle or something, and they put you in your will and you weren't expecting it, but it's an inheritance coming in from them, that type of energy. So it's, it's about, winning the lottery, winning something out of the blue. And also this can represent, of course, just a really, really good lifestyle because of what you're doing in your work, etc. This is the Two of Pentacles. So it's saying that you may have been really busy, multitasking, and because of this breadcrumbing energy, you've been like multitasking, and multitasking can gain momentum. So if you get really busy and then you get more busy, then sometimes you're busy to be busy. And it's showing that with the smaller waves getting bigger and the ships getting bigger. So this is saying, be careful that you don't multitask to the point that you have more quantity of work and less quality. And also that being busy sometimes we can get busy to be busy. And the busier we get, the busier we get. And so it's saying, make sure that, you're not overdoing the multitasking so that you get to the point where you're doing things over again because you're not doing it properly the first time around. And it's also saying, don't juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. And I feel like with this disappointment in love, it could definitely be that someone was juggling their morals with the breadcrumbing and the cup of love energy. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is talking about, this is pre-Empress energy. And I feel like what it's saying, because I was picking this energy up, that because the Queen is so resourceful, this isn't necessarily the King's money. This could be her money, and she's gaining it back because she has realized she needs to put herself first here. And she's stopped trying to juggle her energy and please other people, basically, because of this energy, feeling left out in the cold. Now, this always reminds me of Nikola Tesla because it's the 369, and it's talking about a ratio, and he always would say, like, if you knew the beauty of the 369, you would have the key to the universe. And that's kind of like this falcon is saying. She has the foresight. She has really learned this art of, she's taken this to a new level. And so she understands, like, look at how she had 6 pentacles here, and now she has her hand on 6 here, and she has 3 more now. And so this is talking about when she realized that she was leaving herself out in the cold, basically, by allowing other people to take advantage of her. And she just put an end to this disappointment and started working to her own fulfillment. Put those burdens down, I feel like, in that field. And I do feel there was 4 of them. And she's happier. And so now that's what's attracting the king now. And I mean, if they combine their money together, they're going to be, they'll have a really good lifestyle. But this is talking, she now has her hand on the 6 pentacles. And now, instead of just having a little bit to give to charity, she has a pentacle here that she could maybe invest in more risky investments that there's a higher return, but if I lose, it's not going to be a disaster. And then this is talking about, charity, and this is talking about maybe saving up money for going on a holiday with her family. And so it's keeping that ratio, like 2/3 she always keeps. And then she knows she has this to kind of play with. And we have the 3 of Pentacles now. I was wondering if this card was going to show up. Sometimes this card shows up with this card. So I feel like here it's basically saying that there are some people that behind the scenes were very invested in you not getting back up on your feet. And this sometimes can represent, you might have been carrying burdens for a lot of people here, and you thought they were, it was an even exchange of energy, but now you didn't have this, you had a little bit of this discernment, but nothing like here now. And this energy here, I feel, is representing that the tactics that these people used have put you out in the cold. And this quite often can represent when people notice that you're really in an elevated position, you're really good at what you do. It's a really good thing. But we notice those 3 pentacles here, and we have the 3 pentacles here. And so they were maybe taking advantage of your busyness, and also like you were busy working and you assumed they were doing. These could be people that worked for you or were in your inner circle in some way, that type of energy. And they were like the extra profit that you were supposed to be getting. They were kind of taking your ideas, and you didn't have time to because you were busy doing all of this. They were busy, putting some of your ideas into practice for themselves. And this energy, this represents tactics. And sometimes this can also represent secret society energy, where you may have signed up with some people, gotten involved in a group, and you may not have known, but they might belong to a secret society of some sort, or a church, or something to do with that. And, when they have their own rules, and they have their own rituals, and they have their handshakes, and they do things for the group. And if you don't toe the line with them and do it the way they want it done, then they'll hound you in one way or another, and you could end up in this position. And I'm not talking about the whole group, but I'm talking about a few people in the group, that type of energy. So that's why, because there's something here that the Hierophant needs to come in and, and I just feel like this energy is just saying, like, you're not the first time that they've done this. This is something that they're good at doing. So they have, okay, this is how we do it kind of energy. So you just have to be aware of that now. You're aware of that. You're more discerning. And I feel like that when the Hierophant comes in, this energy is totally, the truth is going to come out, and you're going to have your justice. And maybe the reason why, if you're on God's path here, maybe the reason why this happened is partly because it's part of God's plan. Because God knew you would be tough enough to be able to handle this and put an end to it. Perhaps they've had a lot of opportunities to stop this behavior and they just keep getting away with it, and they just don't want to stop it. And we're seeing that so much. Like look at what's happening in the news these days, and I really feel like I was kind of thinking, like I was listening to a lot of astrologers talking about Uranus moving into the sign of Gemini, and that's for like 7 or 8 years. And that energy is like very, the last time we had that energy was in 1941 to 1949. And I was watching just a little bit of the news before I did this reading, and I turned it off because I was like, oh, like there was just every time, okay, I'm not going to watch that. That's too much. That's too much. There was so much of this energy out there where people, like, it's a full moon tonight. So, and it's that Scorpio energy. It's like, let's rip it down and rebuild kind of energy. So I was just like, I don't feel like watching this tonight. There's too much truth almost. But the bottom line is with this Uranus energy, it's bringing the truth out. And, it's been, this energy is going to be with us until 2033, basically. So we can expect this to be happening a lot. And so this is the type of, if something happens, sure, it's going to be like on the news, like in some way. And like you just think, okay, maybe we'll have a quiet day. But it just seems like, wow. And a part of the reason of that, of course, is because in the old days, we didn't have access to information. And now we have access to so much information. Of course, there's always something wrong with the world, but there's also a lot that's right with it. And so that's what you have to focus on, that part of it. But I feel like this energy is definitely coming to an end at some point here in the near future, because it's coming up in the readings over and over again, that the old way that people were doing things is not working for them anymore. We moved out of this energy. Neptune is in Aries now and out of Pisces, and the idealism and the way people were doing things before and the way they were approaching everything is now in Aries. And Aries is ruled by Mars. It's way more aggressive. People are just not going to put up with the same old shift. And that's, it's going to have its pluses and minuses, I feel. And we have the soulmate energy coming in. So when we're talking about this love coming in, this King of Cups and this Queen, these could be soulmates. And maybe this is how they meet. There's weird ways that we meet. This could be someone, maybe this is the Hierophant. Maybe the King of Cups is the Hierophant, or the Queen of the Pentacles is the Hierophant energy. And this is going to straighten things up, but they get together. One hires the other, something to do some work on this, and the next thing you know, it's like, let's get married. And this is soulmate energy. So quite often this will say that expect the person, if you have any expectations when it comes to love left, expect the person to be very different from your usual type. Quite often when soulmates come together, they can be like two peas in a pod that, but from different plants somehow, if you understand what I'm saying. So it's like very similar. They'll, like, when they get together, they'll realize, oh, that happened to me at the same age, and I did that, and I was interested in that when I was 21. That type of energy. Having said that, their lifestyles could be very different. The professions could be very different. This is really common for them to be like not someone that you would normally date. And this energy is about, it's a soul connection. So it's talking about very healing, and that's the Hermes symbol here. Really strong communication. And this is how you, you see the difference? This is how you toast someone that you care about. And when you're like, oh, hey, I really am happy for you. This is really awesome. Not like this. This is when you're gossiping and happy that the Queen of Pentacles is not is in this position, but now you celebrated too soon. It's that kind of energy, and the truth always, always, always comes out, always. So, and look at this: the big reward of the Pentacles is coming in when this soulmate, when this energy comes. You would have never attracted this energy unless you went through all this, and that's what this pre-Empress energy is saying. To become an Empress in the tarot, you have to have the life experience. You can't cheat and become one. You can't pretend to be one. People will know right away. It's like someone who's been there, done that, and has had to really be resourceful. Has been like in this position where they're struggling to bring their harvest home, where they have to put down the burdens they've been carrying for others, sometimes for years, without any gratitude from those people. It's that type of energy coming out a winner, and the people saying like, hey, you have to admit they deserve the victory. It's that type of energy. So this is talking about having an amazing lifestyle. Again, it's this promise down here. Take this chance, give it another go. Don't give up when you're almost there. It's surprising how often people, they were just about to win and then they give up. And then this is the Queen of Cups energy. So this is, we do have now this energy of love coming in right on this energy, the soulmate and the great lifestyle. So this is talking, the Queen of Cups is talking about someone who is like a traditional love person, like someone that you would marry, that you would want to have a family with, that you can count on, someone who's very kind. Her love is like a trophy, like she has a lid on her cup here, and it's big, and it's like saying, the lid's on it because it's saying, I'm a container of love. She's unconditionally loving. And sometimes when people are unconditionally loving and kind like that, people think that they're just naive and they go to take advantage of them. And then they find out after, oh, they weren't naive, they were just being kind. And then, by that time they've seen, the Queen is very discerning as well. And maybe she wasn't as discerning as she was. And now it's saying, she's very discerning now about who she lets into her inner circle. But the King of Cups, out of all the kings, he's the one that's most likely, when he offers a cup, it's sincere. This sometimes can talk about your maternal line. So if there is some sort of windfall coming in, it could be representing that it's coming in from the maternal bloodline. Look at this. There's the cup of love, the knight in shining armor. The king's like, okay, she's ready. I'm going to go offer that cup of love. And this is like the knight in shining armor that we read about in the romance novels. So he's going to do it correctly. So that's really good energy. So it's talking about, really, it was staying on your path. And look at this. Really, really interesting. Now, this card has, like every tarot card, has two ways of looking at it. I'm going to put it here in the middle here for now. So this person, when you look at it, 3 swords in the heart, that doesn't look so good. Why are you happy, Colette? Because this does mean that there's been heartache, heartbreaking decisions have had to be made. When you're putting those burdens down in the field, those people are no longer, it means you probably have cut them off and you don't want them in your life, and you have to be able to forgive them. And that's what this card is about. To have your heart open up again, to have this love you want, you have to be willing to be vulnerable and open your heart back up again. That's what this energy here is saying. So the 3 swords in here can represent in the past that there was a third party involvement, in between a couple here. People were gossiping about it. There was a lot of slander and gossip. It really affected you. You felt left out in the cold. And it changed the way you feel about everybody, that type of energy. It was a heartbreaking decision for you. But when you look at it, you see the heart is really big for the size, in context to the size of the swords. So this is something you can come from. The heart's in the throat, so I feel like there was a time where you had to just isolate maybe. And when you realized what was going on, and just, heal from it. And this can sometimes be about not wanting to speak the truth. It can, speak your truth, not feeling safe to tell people how you really feel. And it can also be gossip, slander, harsh words being spoken, that type of energy. But on the plus side, this can also talk about healing the heart and the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind. So the subconscious mind is formed by the time you are about 6 or 7 years of age, and that is heavily imprinted on you. But it's actually, the subconscious mind is actually the thoughts of the people that were raising you and were in charge of your care. So this energy is, the subconscious mind isn't really your thoughts. You don't really remember very much about your childhood, more than likely, until you're around kindergarten age. And so this is heavily imprinted on you, though. And then we have the unconscious mind, and that's from the soul's perspective. You might feel, yes, I am a human being and I have a soul, but from the soul's perspective, you are a soul traveling in a human body, and that's your vehicle to get around. And if these two aren't in touch, you're never going to meet your soulmate. So it means that you've balanced these two out, and then you're conscious of it. So your conscious mind is when say for example, you have a meeting, you go to the meeting, you take notes, you come home, you type them out, you understand what they are, you're very conscious of doing that. It's that type of energy. So the conscious, unconscious, and subconscious mind, when they're congruent with each other and they plug into the heart's desires, that's when you really get what you really want, what your authentic desires are. And that requires having the forgiveness. Forgiveness is for yourself. It doesn't mean that you want to get back together with anyone or that you condone the action, but it does mean that you want to heal your heart to open it up to love again. And that's what you've done. You've managed to go after your authentic desires. This is awesome energy. It's, challenging, but hey, possibilities are quite often disguised as challenges. So this is talking about being able to really keep your emotions and your in check, and your discipline of your mind. And people, it's the recovery basically from this energy. Because of that, that's why you're able to. You're known to be resourceful, and people can see how resourceful you've been to get back up on your feet again. This king is interested in you. There's this reward coming in from the universe, knowing that you have been following your North Star on your destined path, no matter what, even when it's been really, really challenging and you were afraid to be vulnerable because you wanted to be in your natural energy. This cup of love is talking about, loving the king back and having your mind disciplined and in sync with your heart's desires. And that's what's attracting this love to come through. This is talking about the offer and you accepting it. This is talking about this old energy here. I just feel like you clearly are not going to have anything to do with these people. The reason why you were able, to even attract this energy, though, in a way, they did you a favor, because you cut it off with them when you found out down here. So if there's any legalities here, and quite often there can be in cases like with the Hierophant showing up, you're not going to be involved in that. It's not going to have an effect on you. Even if they tried to implicate you in some way, the proof will be like you haven't had anything to do with these people in years, that kind of energy. And you certainly didn't benefit. You were being breadcrumbed by them. So, you put those burden down some time ago. It's talking about that. You've been busy, healing, basically. So this is really good energy. If you're leaving the reading here, yeah, this is talking about, hey, it pays to, keep your shift together. Not, especially in happy full moon. Use the energy wisely. Use it to be intuitive and work towards your goals with that energy, rather than getting all upset about what other people are doing or what they're not doing. I'm going to clarify this for those of you who want clarification. If you're leaving the reading now, thank you so much for your time and energy, and consider giving this a like and comment. I would really appreciate it, as it helps me to build my channel. I'm going to clarify with my oracle, Tales from the Vector. So I started this back in 2007, and in 2020, I completed all 64 paintings. I'm an artist. This is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light, and this energy is talking about, there's a lot of dragon energy, dragonflies, angels, there's all sorts of cool energy. I have a website, talesfromthevector.com. And I have a gallery with the paintings in, and the numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they are in the gallery. I will put them in the description box below in the order they show up. So if you want to take a look, you can. And we have the tower coming in. Generally, when the Hierophant shows up, there is a tower. The tower is uncomfortable, but I feel if there was a tower, it was when you put these burdens down. And that caused a tower. That's what I feel. I feel these people were very comfortable with piling the snow on you. And when the tower hit, it actually, it did affect you, but it made you happier. It made you more resourceful. All the time that you were putting into this energy of pleasing these people and making sure that everyone was happy with your work and all that type of energy, all of that you poured into yourself, and it brought you to this pre-Empress energy. So instead of being busy for other people who didn't appreciate it, you appreciated yourself by investing in yourself. And it brought you up to this energy, and that's the king's like, oh yeah, that's my soulmate. That's who I want to. If I'm ever going to get married, that's who I'm marrying. Someone who can be resourceful when need be, and then manifest when the time is right. The soulmate energy coming together, that's all because of that. So this is talking about God's judgment coming in, using your intuition, especially on the full moon here. Use it wisely. This is the cosmic heart energy. So this is basically saying that God can only be the one who can really judge other people, because God's the only one that can see their heart. And we don't know why people do the things that they do. It's not condoning their actions, but it is saying you don't always have to take it really personally, which may sound weird, but you can just realize, I'm better off without them in my life anyway, so I may as well let go of it, let go of the disappointment. And a lot of times when we're forgiving ourselves for allowing that to happen to ourselves. And so this energy of Aries, I feel this is coming in because of all this new energy that's coming in. A lot of people are dealing with it, and for the next few days, things are going to be pretty. People could be blowing up and getting angry, and there could be a lot of sirens and stuff like there was last night. It's just that type of energy. People being kind of inconsiderate, like that type of energy. So this is talking about this all these planets moving into the sign of Aries. When I have a horoscope sign come up, I'm not talking about individual people. I'm talking about the energy of that sign. So we can all learn from it. If you ever get your birth chart done, you'll know that your birth chart will tell you, where each of the planets is when you were born and what sign it was in. So it can give you a bit of an idea, whichever house it's in, where this energy would show up for you. If you do get your birth chart done, be very, very careful about that, because your birth chart is basically like giving your social insurance number to a total stranger. So don't be telling, it's just as on a spiritual level, it would be like giving your driver's license number to a bunch of strangers, or your social insurance number to a bunch of strangers. So, make sure you're with someone who's ethical and knows what they're doing, and that, it's on the up and up. And then we have the energy of the Trump. Oh, I didn't do the Hangman yet. Yeah, so this is hanging from the tree of knowledge to regain that balance and to learn, looking at it from all perspectives. And I feel like this energy, because you did that in my oracle, this is actually a real pretty dragonfly, and she is doing a headstand with her tail up in the air, and she's adorned in Swarovski crystals. She's on the head of a echinacea flower, and so she's it's a healing energy. If you look at things from a new perspective, especially upside down, before you take action and you look at things from all angles, that's a good attitude to be in with this energy, so that you're not jumping to conclusions and then having to apologize to people that you accused of something, or that type of energy. The trauma queen energy, this is about this energy is just like a bunch of drama, really, and learning how to avoid that in life. You start to learn, once you've been through this, without this hardship, you wouldn't be at this pre-empress energy. So now, life's a slice, hold the drama. It's like, I don't need it. A lot of times you don't even recognize it until you've been there. Degradation of your energy. A lot of the times when we're in this energy, the reason we don't put the burdens down is because we feel like almost embarrassed that or when it comes out, like, oh my God, like that these people would actually do this. Like, you would be shocked really at how far some people will go for money. Like it is shocking, actually. And so the degradation belongs to them, not to you. So if they're doing like real shifty energy behind the scenes, that energy, you don't need to be degraded by. I mean, they're doing their best to degrade your energy so they can take what's yours, basically. And you don't. But the degradation really belongs to them. The shame is their shame. They're the ones that did it. I mean, you have to own up to your part in it. But if you're not, if you're going out of your way to hurt another human being or an animal or something, and you're cruel that way, then that's the energy I'm talking about. I'm not talking about someone who makes mistakes and sometimes you hurt people's feelings and stuff. I'm talking about people that literally don't care because they want the money. And so this is they'll be mean to you, but they'll be mean to animals. They could be mean to the cutest little animal in the world, and torture it, whatever. You never know what's going on in people's minds because of what's happened with them. And so it's just that type of energy, and we see it played out in the world sometime, and we don't understand it. But God is the only one really that understands that. That's why it's hard to understand that type of energy. But the best answer always is to do your best to be a kind, loving person, and be kind to people, be kind to animals, and set a good example. That's the best way that you can go. And then we have, manifesting with your sacral chakra, and that energy is like, coming from a place where you're really powerfully manifesting now. It's a natural thing. And the Empress energy is known to be pregnant with possibility. And then we have Sagittarius energy coming in. Sagittarius energy is actually in the Milky Way. There is in the constellation of Sagittarius, there is a black hole, and a lot of people feel that is actually the cosmic heart, and so that's that energy here. So this is like the universal heart and God's heart and your heart. And the thing is also, when you forgive people that have been cruel to you, I mean, you're I'm not condoning their actions, but you're saying, I wish that you don't have to get involved in the lowering your energy and your vibration to be like starting to hate people when you want to love people. You don't have to be, you can be disappointed, you can be angry with them, whatever, but you don't have to, take it out. You know what I mean? You can still send them good energy. Say, I do hope that you get in touch with Most High, and you and the Most High work this out. But you don't want to have anything more to do with it. That's the thing. And this is talking about a major transition. And so that's coming up again from this tower. I feel like it was heartbreaking. Like this energy, I just am picking up this energy of someone feeling very heartbroken that they had to let these people go. They cared, even if they didn't care about you, you cared about them. And that's what, it's a hard lesson to learn sometimes, and it's, it may sound weird, don't take it personally, but sometimes people have had things happen to them that you don't know about that cause them to be the way they are. And so, it's better just to move forward and, not sit in that energy yourself. Open your heart back up to love and enjoy your life. It's a good reading, this reading. I really like it. I do hope you've enjoyed it as well. Give it a like and comment. And also consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy of the channel. And I will be back with another daily reading for you again tomorrow. Bye for now.